Today I'm joined by Joshua Parker, expert film critic and master genius of film content analysis. Now, Joshua, you've come to a very interesting conclusion about the nature of a particular animated picture. Can you just tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me on your show. So, the best cartoon movie out there, and I would actually say even animated movie, is actually Cars 2.
Really?
Yes, it has so many amazing features, and the switch from Cars 1 to Cars 2, just incredible.
Really? I mean, what would you say to critics who would consider that transition to be rather oddly juxtaposed?
Oddly juxtaposed, well, that's one way to put it. I say it's a genius move. In Cars 1, sure, we have a nostalgic film about racing, right? But in Cars 2, we have a movie about Mater being a spy. How much cooler does it get than that? What do you think the younger generation wants? I say Cars 2.
Very interesting, very interesting. Now, I would imagine that many Gen Alpha members have not actually been exposed to this film. How do you think we should solve that societal problem?
I think that our number one priority should be doing reruns in the theaters of Cars 2. This would make it a very family-friendly event that would very much introduce the movie to the Gen Alpha.
Yes, very interesting, very interesting. Now, one of the big critiques of this film is that it sucks really bad. What would you say to that?
I say that's a load of garbage!
Oh, okay. I mean, we could try to be a little bit tame here, Mr.
No, it is a load of garbage.
Oh, okay.
That is a load of garbage
Oh, okay.
claim. It is one of the best. No, I say the best animated movie of all time.
Wow. I mean, yes. So, what are some specific elements of that masterpiece that you particularly enjoy?
Look at this, Ben. Okay, imagine. The movie starts, right? You're expecting some kind of racing film with Lightning McQueen. Instead, you have an oil rig in the middle of the sea with a British spy watching a car get tortured for information.
Wouldn't that be, like, not necessarily the best thing to show, like, young children?
It's the real world! It is the reality. It's getting them introduced to what life is like. Life is gritty. Life is dark. There might be some hope in there, and I think there is. And that's shown in the movie. That's shown in the plot. But the real world, especially the spies, it is a dark world. And that they captured that in Cars 2.
Interesting. So, take us through kind of the plot of the film and some of the elements going on there.
Right. So, the British spy that was on the oil rig, right, he gets the information he needs and he gets out of there, right? People think he's dead. He fakes his own death. Another great part of this film. What kids movie has a car faking its own death off of an oil rig? Incredible. So they're trying to stop an evil monocle doctor car, and they're trying to find out who is making cars blow up on the racetrack.
Isn't a monocle doctor kind of like an overused villain trope?
Oh, Ben, it is one of the most genius villain tropes. Has it ever been done in a Cars movie before? No. The answer is no.
Okay. So, let's continue. So,
All right.
cars are getting blown up on the track.
Right. And so,
Is it a .50 caliber rifle being fired at them by an assassin?
No. It is much more complex than that. See, look at this. Complexity in a kid's cartoon movie. Seriously, like, where do you get that?
Well, I'm not entirely certain that we ought to use the word cartoon to refer to 3D animation. I mean, we're kind of overstepping the bounds of the word. I mean,
that's an irrelevant point. Let me continue telling the plot.
Okay.
All right, so Mater and McQueen are at this international cars event, and Mater makes a fool of himself, right? And McQueen basically doesn't want to be friends with him because he's ruining his reputation, right? And Mater accidentally gets him mixed up in some spy business where he has this top secret information attached to him by an American spy, right? And so the British spies are trying to find him to get this information while the villain and all of his lackeys are chasing him across the world. Would you like me to continue?
Yes, yes.
So, past that point, we have Mater going around the world with McQueen. McQueen rejects him, and we have gunfights.
In a children's movie.
Yes!
Gunfights.
Machine guns on cars from the headlights.
And through the power of magical PG special effects, I would imagine that these guns manage to not be directly shown hitting a car, right?
Nah.
Oh.
Cars blow
wow.
up in this
Whoa.
movie.
Oh, okay.
Cars get shot.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Like I said, it is a real movie for kids. Well, they masterfully do it where it's not too violent. Like, obviously, there's no blood or gore, but...
Because cars don't have organs.
Right. But it is masterfully done.
Very interesting. So, here's the major problem with everything...
Problem?
With everything you've said so far, is that it's stupid.
And why do you think that?
I don't know. It just feels like maybe it wasn't true to the meaning of the franchise and
True to the meaning of the franchise.
The earnesty of the nature of like the true harrowing calm themes of Cars 1. I mean, and of course this movie, like, you can't say this is better than the Lego Movie from 2014.
I do say that. You die without innovation. In that board meeting, when they were discussing what to make Cars 2 about, you know what happened probably? Some random person that was on the board had this genius idea. Genius. Brilliant. One of the best of the century. He comes in, they're talking about doing another race film, McQueen, and he's like, guess what? What if we make Mater have emotional issues and be rejected because people think he's stupider than other people?
Joshua, there are sophisticated, pampering Japanese bathroom things in this movie. That is not awesome. That is weird.
And why do you have to discriminate against other cultures? Why do you have to do that?
Well, I mean, I'm just saying.
No, you weren't just saying. You were discriminating against cultures. And I say you're discriminating against that board member that was a genius to introduce Mater as a spy going through a mental health crisis in this film.
I'm afraid we're going to have to remain at odds, Joshua.
You will have to remain to be wrong.